Body of missing Gastonian woman found in South Carolina. Ex-boyfriend charged with murder. Gastonia, North Carolina. Police have charged a man with first-degree murder after finding the body of a missing Gastonia woman in South Carolina. Laporsha Chantel Baldwin, 30, last spoke with her family members in church in Gastonia on October 10th around 2 p.m., and her family had not been able to contact her since then, police said. Baldwin's car was found abandoned along an Interstate 85 between Sam Wilson Road and Belmont with what appeared to be blood inside the car. Detectives believe that Baldwin was last seen by her ex-boyfriend, Charles Combs, who happens to be 35, of Charlotte. Police found Baldwin's phone and discovered that after she left the church, she had a conversation with Combs. Baldwin had broken up with Combs about 3 weeks prior, police said, according to court records. Combs was distraught, and on the day Baldwin vanished, he told a friend about her and said he would kill himself if he could not be with her. Police said that on October 14th, law enforcement officials found Baldwin's body in Fairfield, South Carolina. We need her. A Gastonian mother vanished, but police found her abandoned car. At GPDNC, which would be I guess Greensboro Police Department, say Laporsha Baldwin's ex may have been the last person to talk to her but the man who was once convicted of second-degree murder isn't talking to them. Baldwin's mother is asking for help. Ladies, let's stop right there. If he has already been convicted of murder, what's your chances? Shout out to Advocate for Kids First. Jay, when you date a thug, you date death. Charlotte Mecklenburg police took out first-degree murder warrants against Combs in the connection to Baldwin's death and arrested him on October 16th in Myrtle Beach. He was extradited from Horry County to Mecklenburg County on Tuesday and was charged for Baldwin's murder. Okay, you murdered somebody and go to the beach. Really? What a vacation. You could stay that calm. Channel 9 learned that Combs was convinced of second-degree murder in Charlotte in 2007. He spent 12 years in prison for the 2004 death of his girlfriend at that time, Marshita Dorsey, according to court records. Combs told Dorsey the only way out of the relationship with him was through death. Wow, that's a lot. Dorsey's cousin said that when she heard about Baldwin's case, it sounded all too familiar. and when And then when I heard his name on Sunday, it was like reliving every moment again. Almitra Jones said, I was like, oh my God, this is happening all over again. So I immediately went on social media, got on the pages, and said, this is the guy who killed my cousin. He is dangerous. Before Baldwin's body was found, her family members told Channel 9 that they were concerned for her welfare. That's my baby out there somewhere, and I don't know where she is, her mother, Marilyn Baldwin said. Marilyn Baldwin said her daughter was headed to work in Huntersville on October 10th. They met at the parking lot of First Antarctic Church. Laporsha Baldwin kissed her 18-month-old daughter and said, I love you. Marilyn Baldwin and Marilyn Baldwin told Channel 9. Laporsha Baldwin left and never returned. She didn't call to check on her young child. Her daughter is her heart, Marilyn said. She would never leave her daughter. Portia Baldwin's church community has come together to help the 18-month-old daughter she leaves behind. On a Monday, Channel 9 reported Ken Lemon spoke to the pastor. He said the grieving is very personal for members of First Antarctic Church and said LaPortia Baldwin was more than a church member. She was a friend to so many, and her daughter Bella was a light. The toddler was taken. The toddler was having trouble understanding that her mother was missing, and church members told Channel 9 their focus was turned to supporting and taking care of the girl. They have been raising money for the child and have launched a GoFundMe to help cover the Portia Baldwin's funeral services. Anyone with any information regarding the case is asked to call 704-432-TIPS or get in touch anonymously with Crime Stoppers at 704-334-1000. And I want you to listen to this article.
Monday, police found Laporsha Baldwin's car abandoned on I-85 between Sam Wilson Road and Belmont. Warrants say that her ex-boyfriend, Charles Combs, was the last person to see her. Now, he was convicted of killing a girlfriend in Scotland County back in 2007 and spent almost 9 years in prison for that murder. Tonight, Channel 9's Mark Becker spoke to the family of that girlfriend that Combs killed about how Laporsha
You're right. I agree. This really is sad. I want you to listen to the article.
Search for Laporsha Baldwin is about to enter its second week, and while her family in Gaston County is holding their breath and praying, another family here in Charlotte is reliving a nightmare that's all too familiar.
It still hurts. We miss her. We've been missing her for 17 years.
17 years later, Lachey McCoy and her cousins are still devastated. Rashida Dorsey was their cousin, but more like a sister, they say, when she was murdered in 2004 by the ex-boyfriend she was trying to leave.
So it wasn't like they were together years or months. Right. It's a very short courtship that ended her life.
Yes, Larry,
Rashida's
I
boyfriend was a
agree.
young man named Charles Combs. He spent 12 years in prison for Mashida's murder and was released 5 years ago. The same Charles Combs, who Laporsha Baldwin's family say she was trying to leave when she disappeared last Sunday. And then when I heard his name on Sunday, it was like reliving every moment again. And I was like, oh my God, this is like happening again. So I immediately got on to social media and I started going onto the pages and start telling them, look, this is the guy who killed my cousin. He is dangerous. Almitra Jones Schofield says Combs threatened to kill her cousin if she tried to leave. It's a tragic script domestic violence experts have seen before.
What our studies show us is that 75% of the women who were murdered by a partner were actually murdered by somebody that had left or were trying to leave.
B. Cote works with victims and their abusers and says Charles Combs fits a frightening pattern.
And he's already gone, like, past the point of no return. You know, he's already killed before. And so nobody should ever believe that they would be safe with him.
Anyone knows where he is, they need
Very
to
similar,
let the
Larry.
detectives know.
Very
Let
similar.
any law enforcement know where he is because she needs to be found.
Sometimes tragedy, as painful as it is, can bring us together. And while the women we spoke with tonight don't know Laporsha Baldwin or her family, they want them to know that they feel their pain and are praying for them. Reporting in Charlotte, I'm Mark Becker.
I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, here again, they think if I can't have you, no one can have you. It's ridiculous. You can't make anybody love you. That's simple. But it seems as though he's dealing with some kind of demons or so forth because just to keep killing women, I mean, actually, you become a serial killer is what happens. But me personally, I, you wouldn't have anything to say to me. You wouldn't have not one thing to say to me. Okay, let's see what it says about. I wanted something to tell more directly about him more so as far as background wise, but uh it kind of keeps going back to the well, let's see here. Okay. Uh where my glasses at? About blind and small writing. Okay, it says police arrested the ex-boyfriend of Gastonia woman whose body was found Thursday in Fairfield County, South Carolina, which is just on the other side, well, north of Columbia. The Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department said Laporsha Baldwin last seen on October 10th. Her boyfriend Charles Williams Combs was reportedly the person she was headed to see when he disappeared. Now I'm assuming he's not the father of that baby because it does not list him as the father. Yeah, every woman that try to leave him, he murders them. Who are you? Come on now. Okay, he was extradited back to Mecklenburg County on Tuesday. Information obtained by WCNC Charlotte reveals that Combs was previously convicted in the murder of his former girlfriend, Marshida Dorsey, in 2004. Records show he spent 12 years in prison before being released in 2016. I wrote letters to the parole board to the DA. Dorsey's father, Michael Carnes Sr., said. And I told them that he was going to do the same thing to somebody else because he does not care anything about life. Karn said his daughter was shot 5 times for trying to leave an abusive relationship. He believes that Combs should not have been released from prison, and I can agree to that. A Gastonian woman was known to be with her ex-boyfriend. Police say her phone was pinged in South Carolina. See, that's what happened with Laporsha. Her phone pinged in South Carolina, which led them there. All my condolences and prayers go to the Baldwin family because now they have to endure the same thing that we endured for the last 17 years. Carnes said. Okay, ladies. Coming from a woman of a particular age, this day and time, or even men, when you meet somebody new, look them up, do a little research. Because that research right there, had she did her research, she might would have been here today. Because 9 times out of 10, that's not anything they're going to tell you off the top, just like that. Oh yeah, he'll do another 12 years and be back on the street again, unless her family has a awesome attorney. Good morning, Molly. Welcome in. Welcome in. Unless her family has an awesome attorney. Because, okay, like for instance, the reason things like this bother me, I have a first cousin that's doing 19 to 22 years. He shot his girlfriend in the back of the head. We definitely thought it was going to be life. But he did it. He dialed 911, told them that the gun would be laying on the car. He would be laying on the ground on his stomach. That he did. And then he told them, once they got him downtown and all of that, he said, I don't want a trial. Don't waste the state's money. Just go ahead and book me. So with that, he got off with 19 to 22 years. Now, this is the first cousin to me. I never in a million years would have thought he did that. And he simply did that because he thought his girlfriend was off with another guy when her and her sister were Christmas shopping. That simple. And he chose to take something he couldn't give. You can't give life. How you gonna choose to take life? Can I get some love at the XYBC buzzing home? Oh yeah, sure. Feel free. Sure. Y'all can meet and greet, share information, share channels. I have no problem. No problem at all. But I have a true problem with situations like this when it comes to girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, and wife situations. And that cousin, I was very close. But from the day he did that, I have not visited him. I have not written him. I don't have anything to say to him. Honestly, I'm actually mad with him. Who are you to take the life of someone else's child or anyone else for that matter? You can't give them life. So who are you to take life? I take stuff like that with a grain of salt because 2.5 seconds and the whole situation could have been different. Even though I do believe my cousin went there with the intentions of doing that. 'Cause they were sitting in the car, and I'm assuming they was discussing. She probably was trying to explain that she was off with her sister, blah, blah, blah. But you know how some people are when they get something in their head. That's what they believe. That's what they're going to go with. And as she turned to get out the car, she never saw it coming. Left behind two young kids. They were 2 and 4 at that time. And it's been about 7 years. So I know that feeling. I know the pain that they feel. And now it leaves us here to have to, face her family and bump into her family at Walmart or in the grocery store, or even though she has a wonderful, wonderful family, they don't hold any of us responsible for it because we were at home in our bed just as they were. But yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot that you go through, a lot of emotions. Um, and my cousin has a younger brother, and he was at the store one day, and two guys was discussing it, and he wouldn't say anything. And he said, one of the guys turned to him and said, had you heard about it? And he said, yeah, that's my older brother. And he said they were just speechless. He said, I understand how y'all feel because if just because he's my brother does not mean I'm not mad or upset with him. Because honestly, at that time, we didn't know why he did it. He sat in the county jail for a little over a year. We did not know why he did it. It took him going to prison and one of our other first cousins, a male, went to go visit him because everybody wanted to know why. And he told him why. He said he didn't tell us in the county because, most things in the county are bugged. They hear and they listen to everything, talking over those phones and things like that. And he didn't want to write it in a letter or anything of such. So when my cousin went to go see him, that's what he told my cousin. So that's pretty much how that went. Do we have any questions or any comments? Anyone here to maybe have a story to share? I will drop the link and give you a few minutes to get up here if you choose to. Only if you choose to. No big issue. I thank everyone for coming in. Listen to the story, which it'll always be up. I feel sad for both parties of these families. I do also. Actually, you're thinking about it's actually three parties. His family and then the two ladies' family. But I'm sure everybody in his family isn't a monster. Yes, justice needs to be served. And the only way that's really going to happen is they're going to have to go to court, get a good attorney, and stay on top of it. Because we all know these are black on black crimes. And like you said, he did 12 years the last time. I would have been at every parole hearing to do whatever not to get him out, not to let him out, not to let him out. There is a guy also from my hometown. He and he wasn't even a gunman. It was four of them in a car, and one of the guys shot a state trooper. Okay, it was four of them. The other three are now dead. He actually was in the back seat. Right today, every day when he come up. Now this was 1972 when this happened. Every time he come up for parole, that state trooper's granddaughter now comes and fights it. So you have to fight it. If you don't want them to get out, you have to fight it. Yes, they are, Larry. Quick to stream it. Quick. Quick. And please don't go in there with a court-appointed attorney. That's the only thing I'll give my cousin credit for. He didn't wind up charging my aunt. No, it didn't charge my aunt a whole bunch of money. But, I mean, you would not believe during that period while he was in that county jail, her hair came out. She lost like 4 clothes size. And she went into this deep, dark depression to where purple's always been her favorite color. But she wears purple every single day. Even that's the one thing we have not been able to break the cycle of yet with her. She still today has something purple on every day. Hey, Mama Bear 4. How's it going? Welcome in. You're right. He's going to get you max. Yeah. You going in with a public defender, you're going to get maximum because public defenders work on behalf of the court, okay? So that you don't want to do. But this Charles guy, he shouldn't even bother to waste his money, nobody else's money, because he's going to be gone for a while. And actually, he looks kind of vicious to me. I mean, it's not just him coming up, starting conversation with me. Uh-uh. I wouldn't have a whole lot to say to him. And I'm sure he didn't just come out and tell that lady that he did 12 years for murder of his ex-girlfriend. The only way out of these relationships is death. Yes, he looks very vicious. He looks mean. Now, I don't know if something mental illness is real, so look, I'm trying to look at this both ways. I don't know. But to do this twice, it's hard, but because if they didn't find any kind of insanity the first time, I doubt they'll find it this time. I don't know if anything from his past happened to him for him to feel to do these things, to murder these women. I don't know. But that's a lot. I just if you meet somebody this day and time, please, just please check them out. Get on the computer, look them up. She may still be here today had she did that. Just look them up. And just to look at her, she appears to be a very sweet person. Very sweet person. She was church oriented, and of course, that's probably the angle he went at. Thank you, Dr. Andrew. I appreciate that. Good morning. How are you? I can just imagine. But at least he spared the baby. He did not bother the baby. Like I said, I don't think that was his child. Because no article that I read mentioned that being his baby. Okay, are there any questions? Any comments? If not, I will not hold you guys any longer this Saturday morning. But I appreciate everyone coming in, listening to our stories. And please, if y'all see someone that you may even think is in an abusive relationship, say something to somebody. Most of these cases, there were signs, they were overlooked, people didn't want to say anything. Well, she's not going to believe it. She's just going to go back to him. Take that chance. Have this chance. Oh, wow. You've been around a while. You've been here 10 years? Okay, guys. Y'all go and have a good day. It's raining here. It's cold here. I don't think I'll be leaving the house today. But thank y'all for coming in, listening to the story. And once again, if you hear something, say something. Have a blessed one.